everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Claire and this is Yoli. I make videos all about houseplant care, sharing tips and tricks I've learned over the years to help keep your plants happy and healthy. And today I'm going to be showing you all of the Hoyas I've got in my collection. I personally absolutely love Hoyas. I think they're really hardy, really diverse plants, and I've been super lucky to have acquired some gorgeous ones recently. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So these are in no particular order, but the first one is one that I have shown you before. It is my Hoya Crinkle 8, which is one of my kind of bigger, fuller Hoyas. I've got lots that are quite small, and this one is just so beautiful. I've got it in a little hanger that I made, and I just love it. I love the kind of crinkly bits in its leaves. I know it's in the name, Hoya Crinkle 8, but I love them. They're just so pretty. And this is one that definitely thrives on neglect. And I say that because I got this when my shop was open, and I gave one to my mum as well. And my mum's got hers still alive, barely, but it's in a north facing window, and it doesn't get a huge amount of natural light. It doesn't get watered much at all, and its leaves have all kind of gone quite flat and yellow, and looking at it, it doesn't look amazing. However, hers has bloomed about 3 times this year so far, and mine hasn't bloomed yet. So although she's kind of looking nice and healthy, she's not giving me any flowers at the moment, which I'm slightly sad about. I'm hoping that might change soon. But yeah, she's just a gorgeous plant. So easy to care for. I wait until her soil's very dry, and then I just kind of throw some water on her. She's in this room here, which is bright and direct light, and she's very happy. But yeah, I just love this one, and I have propagated her quite a few times as well. I've actually, touch wood, had 100% success rate with propagating this plant. I personally like to do it in sphagnum moss, and it's worked really well. But yeah, the next one is this little Hoya Wyetii tricolour, and this is definitely one of my slowest growing Hoyas. I know Hoyas can be quite well known for being quite slow on the whole anyway, but I've got some that I would say are quite quick, to be honest. But this one I've had for maybe 8 months now, and it's given me a few new leaves, but not as many as I would like. So I'm just kind of accepting the fact that it's gonna take its time a little bit more than the rest. But what I love with it, and actually you can kind of see at the bottom there, it's got beautiful kind of like pinky inners when they first unfurl, and it's just so gorgeous. It's got so much character. The thing I really love about Hoyas is just how like succulent and waxy they are. Like, they really don't feel like real plants, if that makes sense. I feel like if I'd seen them before I knew anything about houseplants, then I'd probably think that they were fake plants. But I really do love this one, and I'm so excited for her to grow. But for now, she's taking her time. And then one that I would say is definitely a fast growing Hoya for me. I actually used this one in my then and now video recently, but this is a Hoya Australis Lisa, and it's just so beautiful. If you want to see how quickly this plant goes, I'll link my then and now video in the little clickable eye at the top, because oh my goodness, a couple of months ago, I think it was 2.5 months I did the comparison on, but she only had 2 leaves, and in that time she's given me so many more, and she's got loads of new little growth points coming in there as well. And I just love the variegation on the leaves. Like, it's so unusual. Like, they're just, I don't know, they're almost kind of like peachy. It's not pink, but it's not quite yellow either, especially when they're new. They're very kind of like pinky peachy colour, and it's just beautiful. I have also seen people that have this plant kind of going over like trellises and stuff like that, which I've never done with a Hoya. I know quite a lot of people do it. But yeah, I only actually potted her up about 4 months ago, I think, and in that time she's just given me so much new growth, and I love her. I really love her. Again, so easy. I would say pretty much all of the Hoyas I've had, touch wood, have been really easy, but this one, again, I barely do anything to, and she's just giving me loads of new growth. So yes, very happy about that. And then the next one is my Hoya Parasitica Black Margin, which, as you can see, and you'll see it with quite a few of my Hoyas, is tendriling quite a lot. And I'm not quite sure what to do about that. Again, this is, I think, why some people use kind of like climbing, like, what do you call them? Climbing vines? Things for them to climb round. I've no idea. Like a climbing frame for your Hoyas. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but that's why people do it, because they are very tendrily when they get going. And as you can see, she is giving me some new leaves, just like little baby ones there, and I'm hoping she's going to fill out a little bit. But if not, I never really know what to do about the tendrils. I mean, I've got a couple that are kind of major, but I'm just letting her go at the moment. But if anyone's got any advice, do you chop them back? Do you wrap them around the climby things? What do you do? But yeah, this one is gorgeous. I love the shape of its leaves. It's just such a robust, beautiful, beautiful plant. And again, I really don't think looks real. It almost just looks kind of like, I don't know, waxy and plasticky, which doesn't sound very pretty, but I just really, really love it. Again, I haven't had this one, I think I've had this one for about 8 months now, and I don't know if this is a lot of growth for then. It only had a couple of leaves when I first got it, but it hasn't been a majorly fast grower, but also I wouldn't say it's one of my slowest, but yes. And then, which one shall I do next? I've got Hoyas all around me. I'll do the one that's right in front of me. So this is a Hoya linearis, and I got this one from the plant swap that I went to recently, and I don't think she's grown that much in the time that I've had her. It's kind of hard to tell without putting them side by side, but I got this one as just kind of like a really well-rooted cutting, and I had never had this type of Hoya before. I think she's gorgeous. I transferred her to soil about a month ago now. I think I had her in water for about a week after the plant swap, and then I decided to put her in soil, and she's doing really, really well. As I say, can't really tell how much growth she's given me yet. I can see there's kind of some tips down there and this bit coming out of the pot that is obviously new, but apart from that, it's kind of hard to tell because she was quite long and well established when I first got her. I have also thought at some point about maybe taking a little bit of length off, propagating and planting it back into the same pot to just kind of make her a bit fuller, but I don't know, what do you think? Should I do that? I quite like her how she is, but at the same time, she, I guess, does look a little bit leggy at the moment and doesn't really fill the pot very well. But yeah, the thing I love about this Hoya as well is that her leaves, although they're so delicate, they're so soft. Like, they're all fuzzy and they're just lovely. I really, really love them. So yes, and where shall I go now? Okay, this one here is my Hoya Crimson Queen, which for me, she's caught another one that's tendriling. This one has been so fast for me. I think in general, sorry, I've got something in my eye. I think in general, the main thing for Hoyas in my experience is like for faster growth, light, heat and humidity, because this room right now, it gets really, really warm. It's always very humid in here. Whenever I'm filming, I'm always like, oh, it's so sticky. But they love it so much. And this one, I got at the same time actually, and this will kind of give you an idea. I got it at the same time as my Wyetii Tricolour, and they were about the same size. I think this one maybe had 2 or 3, or maybe about there, maybe it was about there. And in the same amount of time, she's given me all of this new growth, which is just crazy. Like, it's a lot. And again, I know you can do the thing with the climbing frame thing for these plants, but I'm kind of thinking that when I move, I might let her grow and I might kind of like let her go around like a window frame or something like that. She's just, do you know what I mean? She's just so beautiful. I feel like she should kind of be presented in a picturesque way. If anyone's got any ideas, then do let me know, because I'm always open to ideas. But the thing that I really love about this one as well, and again, I'm not sure how well you can tell on camera, but her new growth here is just so beautifully pinky. And that's the case with pretty much all of her new leaves. They kind of get a little bit paler and mature as they mature. But yeah, the lovely kind of pale pink is just so pretty. And yeah, she's a gorgeous plant. As I say, a pretty fast growing Hoya in my experience, and probably due for a repot quite soon, I would say. She's given me so much new growth and she's in a relatively small pot, so I may need to do that at some point. But yeah, if anyone's got any display ideas, do let me know. And then, okay, this one is one of my favorites. So this is, again, a relatively new addition. This is a Hoya Croniana Eskimo, and I just, as you know, I love the plants with the bluey silvery leaves, and this one, look at the colour of her. Isn't she just beautiful? And I have got the normal Croniana as well that I'll show you in a second, but this one, she's a lot bigger and a lot fuller than my original Croniana. And if she's anything to go off as of this one, because I've only had this one for about a month so far, they are quite slow growers, but she came a pretty decent size. I got this one from Grow Tropicals. I did a little unboxing video over on my Patreon, and yeah, I was really impressed with the size of her, because she's a really mature Hoya, and as I say, for a slow growing one, getting one that's already got a bit of size is really nice, because Hoyas often come in just kind of like teeny tiny leaf cuttings and you're like, ah, I love you, but I'm gonna have to wait for years for you to grow. She's giving me my bluey silver plant fix, and I just think she's absolutely beautiful. I love the little splashes on her leaves as well, if you can see. They're just so, so, so pretty. And then my kind of just standard Croniana is here. And has this one been slow growing? I don't know. Again, I love it. I love the kind of very little leaves. I mean, they're just, without like sounding ridiculous, they're just really leaf shaped. Like, I know you could say that about any leaf, but for example, that isn't a particularly leafy plant if I was to think of it. Whereas this one, I just think they are absolutely stunning. They're just so perfect. Like, look at the shape. They're like little teardrops. They're so, so, so beautiful. And yeah, again, tendriling majorly. I wouldn't say she's that fast. I really wouldn't say she's that fast. She's definitely not as slow as the Wyetii or anything like that, but she's just not been that quick. I did have her in my cabinet when I first got her, and actually she did do really, really well in there. But again, it's really, really light, really hot, really humid, and she loved that. And I was gonna get her back in my cabinet, but she started, these tendrils basically wrap themselves around things, and she started kind of gripping onto my other plants, and I thought, okay, that's probably not the best idea because I'll get her all in a tangle. But she's just a beautiful plant, and I'm happy with how she's growing. As I say, not quite sure what to do about these bits, but for now she's in a hanger, she's up high, she looks pretty there, so I'm just gonna leave her. But do let me know your thoughts. So this one is definitely the tendriliest one of them all. If you look at them, like, they're absolutely crazy. This is a Hoya pubicalis, and so when I first got sold this plant, I was sold it as a gracilis, and I had so many comments from people being like, that's not a gracilis, it's a this. And I had so many people saying different things that I was like, I don't know what this Hoya is. And I think I've said this in a video already, but when I was at the plant swap, I was chatting to someone who had a cutting of this plant saying, what is it? Like, I've heard so many different things, and they were like, it's a pubicalis, but apparently loads and loads and loads of people, I think there was like a massive batch about a year ago that was sent out pubicalis plants labelled as gracilis. So I feel like there's loads of people all over the UK at least that think that this is a gracilis. I certainly did for ages, but it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. I love how the new growth with it is all kind of like purpley as well. Like, it's really dark and it just looks so, so, so pretty. And this is one that has definitely been fast growing. When I first got her about 5 months ago, I would say, she didn't even fill the pot, and now I'm just kind of trying to work out how on earth I can contain her a little bit better. But she's a beautiful plant. Again, she's got those lovely little splashes on her leaves, which, can you see? Yeah, but she's just become really full really, really quickly. And actually, I think there's only maybe three propagations that have made up this plant, 3 little rooted cuttings, and she's just branched out so much. I don't know how well you can actually tell, but she's just got loads of different points just from single stems, and she's become really full and really gorgeous so, so, so quickly. But yeah, I love this plant, and oh, okay, I might have to move some things around to get to the others. And then this one, I'm pretty sure is a Hoya SP Burtonnaise, and I got this again at the plant swap, and it's just really, really gorgeous. I think, like, when I first got it, because it was labelled weirdly and I got very confused, I thought it might be a Matilda or something like that, or maybe a little hybrid, because those leaves there look a lot rounder. But now some newer growth like that there has started to come in. I'm pretty sure it's a Burtonnaise. Again, I don't think it doesn't seem particularly fast. Like, I'd say this is just kind of like standard Hoya speed. It's producing growth, but it's doing it very, very slowly. It hasn't grown in length very much in the time that I've had it, which has been a couple of months now, but it has started to kind of branch out a bit here. Like I say, these, which are actually really soft and fuzzy, these are its new leaves, and I've got some little ones coming there as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this plant grow. I'm not gonna even think about chopping it yet, because I ideally at some point would love to chop and propagate and kind of fill the pots, make it a little bit more full, but I think I'm gonna wait a bit for it to mature. This one is in my cabinet and is doing really well in there, but considering some of the quick growth I had from my other Hoyas when they were in the cabinet, I'd say maybe if this one wasn't in there, it would be even slower. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's gorgeous. It's a really beautiful plant. And then these next ones are ones that I got from Arrowed Market fairly recently. And I'm not going to talk about them too much because I haven't had them. I've only had them for about a week so far. And I am going to do a kind of like update video on them. But this is a Hoya undulata red. And I think I'm pronounced that right. Undulata? I don't know. But it's really, really gorgeous. You can see under the leaves they're red. They're just absolutely beautiful. And at the moment, it's just kind of acclimating in sphagnum moss, and it seems to be doing okay. It came from Indonesia, so obviously it had quite a travel. It was in the post for, I think, about 6 or 7 days, and I'm just kind of monitoring it at the moment, as I am with the other 2 Hoyas that I'm going to show you in a minute as well. But I don't want to talk in too much detail about my experience with it yet, because I want to save that for my update video, which will hopefully be in a couple of days. But so far, I think it's gorgeous. It's very, very different to my other Hoyas. Like, it's almost got like a khaki color on top, and then yeah, the beautiful reds underneath. But it's lovely. It's very, very different. It looks a lot more, I was going to say, like, what's the word? I guess a lot of my plants are very kind of like bright and saturated, and this one is a lot more kind of like, I don't know, I don't really know what I'm saying. It looks a lot more kind of like earthy, if that makes sense. But I do love it. It's really gorgeous, and I'm so excited to see how it does. But yeah, as I say, I will be doing an update soon. And then along the same lines, this is a Hoya macrophylla red, which, as you can see, I am currently propagating in sphagnum moss. Again, I will go into the details on my arid market update video, but I did chop this one up for various reasons that I will tell you about soon. But for now, yeah, this is Hoya macrophylla red, and it's doing okay. Like, I had a little bit of an acclimation issue with this plant because it didn't seem to do that well, but I will give you more details on that soon. But yeah, this one, I don't want to take it out of moss. It's only been in moss for, I think, about 4 days so far, and I'm just leaving it be. I've got it in my cabinet, heat, light, humidity, and I'm really hoping that it will produce some roots. It was a really, really thick stem. Like, I don't know if you saw that video, you'll know what I mean, but the stem was really kind of like thick and twiggy, and all of the Hoyas that I've propagated before have had quite kind of like stems like that, quite thin, and I guess from looking at them, they look more likely to produce roots. So I'm a little bit scared of this one rotting, but yeah, we're seeing how it goes, and I will update you on all of them in my update video. And then finally, this is the one that, again, it just blew my mind. I got it from Arid Market again, and this one is my Hoya Sarawak, and it's the most prized plant in my collection right now. I can't stop staring at it. It's just absolutely amazing. And again, I have still just got it in sphagnum moss. It's acclimating in my cabinet. And you can see that I'm kind of air layering it. And I've actually never done that with a Hoya before. I don't even know if it would work with a Hoya, but considering I prop them in sphagnum moss a lot, I kind of thought that maybe if anything was to go wrong with this plant, which I really hope that it won't, it's looking good so far, but I just thought that if it did start to go downhill, then at least maybe that would kind of help if I did need to chop and propagate it. And if not, hopefully just deliver some goodness to the rest of the plants. But yeah, this one, I really wish that there was like a touch button on YouTube so that you could like feel these leaves, because they're like, I mean, this plant, like, even before I put it in here, it was so heavy because they're just so succulent. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just incredible, and I love it so much. And although, like, I know some of you were asking whether or not I was going to chop this plant up and propagate it, I don't know if I could bring myself to do it. Definitely not yet anyway, because it's just so magnificent, and I've never in real life seen a Hoya this big and this kind of amazing. So I don't think yet, maybe further down the line. I have no idea what its new growth will be like when it produces it, but I get the feeling this one's going to be quite slow. I don't know. I could be totally wrong about that. If you've got this plant, let me know, but my feeling is that it's going to be quite a slow grower. But yeah, I think those are all of the Hoyas that are currently in my collection. Let me know some of your favourites, because for some reason, for ages, I wasn't that into Hoyas, and then I started getting a few here and there, and then just fell in love with them, and now I just want to fill my house with Hoyas. So let me know some of your favourites, or any that you would recommend, any that you've had a good experience with, a bad experience with. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.